The United States men's national team just ran over New Zealand with a 4-1 victory in the second round of the Olympics group stage. A great bounce back performance after losing to France 3-0 in the opening game. A win that was very much needed. It was also the first US men's national team Olympic goal scored in over 5,800 days. Since the last time we played was back in 2008, and we failed to score against France in the first game of this edition. With that said, what did we learn? Hi, if you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Manager TV, and welcome to the 7 Things We Learned series, where every single day following a United States men's national team match, we tell you 7 things that we learned. Now, of course, there's more than 7 lessons, so you can tell me in the comment section down below, what did you learn from United States 4, New Zealand 1? And I can tell you one thing, Abe Lincoln most certainly was proud of this performance. I can assure you, he's probably also watching it somewhere, and I'm sure he was confused because when he was alive, the country of New Zealand didn't even exist, but I'm pretty sure he's proud. And this video is brought to you by absolutely nobody, just you, the viewer that is hitting the like button right now, and our Patreon members. So if you hit the like button, or you're a Patreon member, or maybe you did both, I thank you for it. And if you want to join our Patreon and support the channel, the link is in the description of this video. And I guess that's all. Let's go to lesson number 1. Okay, so lesson number 1. If you go back to the last episode of the 7 Things We Learned when we lost to France 3-0, I said it was not all doom and gloom. And I got some hate in the comment section for saying that. Some people were saying I was being too positive and soft during a 3-0 loss. But look at that. All it took was a 4-1 win against New Zealand, and now we're the heavy favorites to advance. So lesson number 1 is, well, I was right, and I love to brag, so I'm going to brag about that. But that's not really the lesson. The lesson here is that our odds of advancing to the quarterfinals are pretty high. Let's go through it. So the United States men's national team situation for the last round of the Olympic group stage is as follows. If the United States wins, they qualify to the quarterfinals. Unless you think New Zealand can beat France, then if we win and New Zealand beats France, then everyone there has 6 points, right? France, New Zealand, and the US. And then it could go down to goal differential. But let's be real, as bad as Thierry Henry is as a coach, France ain't losing to New Zealand. The other situation is that the United States ties Guinea in the last round. Then we need France to simply not lose to New Zealand, which is also very likely. I would assume France can beat this New Zealand side. Okay, so in that case, we just need France not to lose. Now, if the United States loses to Guinea, we need to lose by just 1 goal. That way Guinea won't surpass us in the goal differential and goals scored, and then hope France beats New Zealand. What's the point here that I'm trying to make? Even if we lose to Guinea by 1 goal, the odds of us qualifying are still reasonable. All we would need is for France to beat New Zealand. Again, it's very likely that we're going to advance, in my opinion. I would say there's a 70% chance that the United States gets out of their group and makes it to the Olympic quarterfinal. Then from there, who knows? But I like our odds. Now lesson number 2. And lesson number 2 is directly connected to lesson number 1. And hear me out. The goal that we conceded against New Zealand, which, by the way, it was a very silly goal. We should not have conceded that goal. It was just a moment that we got complacent and we should not have done that. And the goals that we wasted, we should have scored more than 4 goals, could come back to bite us. Now, I hope they don't come back to bite us, but they could. Listen, we should have gotten a clean sheet against New Zealand, and we should have also scored a 5th or 6th goal. If that had happened, we could likely go through with a 2-0 loss to Guinea, but we didn't. That didn't happen. I hope this doesn't come back to bite us, but again, we could have put ourselves in a much better situation for the last game if we hadn't gotten complacent after a 4-0 lead. It's hard to get critical when you defeat an opponent 4-1, but honestly, it could have been 5-0 or 6-0, and this could come down to goal differential. And if it does, not scoring here, allowing a goal there, can screw you over. Lesson number 3 is that, for the love of God, we have to stop trying to play out of the back. Our entire back line is not good on the ball. Harrio and John Token played very well this game, but they're still not good under pressure. They're not press resistant. Walker Zimmerman had a good game, also not a ball-playing defender. Miles Robinson actually had some pretty bad giveaways throughout this game, at least 2 or 3 that I can remember, and we just weren't punished because New Zealand did not have the quality to punish us. A better team would have punished us, and since they didn't punish us, many don't forget the bad giveaways or the mistakes. Patrick Schulte is also very shaky on the ball when it's on his feet, of course. So again, we need to stop playing out of the back. If we try to do that against a very good opponent and we have a bad giveaway or make a mistake, it will come back to bite us. We will be punished. We just weren't because New Zealand, no disrespect, they kind of suck, but you get the point. Stop playing out of the back. Okay, we have reached lesson number 4. And if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to drop a like. It's a great way to support the channel for free. Now, what is lesson number 4? It is that Taylor Booth and Griffin Yao have to start. They're clearly our most goal dangerous forwards. They're probably our most talented forwards. They're very good on one-on-one situations. They have a lot of verticality. Every time they come in, they look electric. They look better than all of our wingers, our forwards. They have to start. They look decent against France. They were our best forwards against France, for whatever that's worth, when they came off the bench. And this game against New Zealand, despite the limited minutes, they looked a lot better than any other of our forwards. So again, Taylor Booth and Griffin Yao have to start, which brings us to lesson number 5. That's connected to lesson number 4. Lesson number 5 is that Duncan Maguire cannot start for this team. I'm sorry, he's simply not good enough. He's one of those players that's just a good hustle guy, like an Irish pub center forward. And listen, I would also bench Jordi Mihailovic, but Duncan has to be a backup ASAP. I'm sorry. Him playing while Taylor Booth and Griffin Yao are on the bench, it's complete nonsense. I would personally go with Paxton Aronson at the 10, the central attacking midfielder position, Griffin Yao as a false 9/striker, and him and Paxton can interchange right there, that position, and then Taylor Booth on the right wing and Kevin Paredes on the left wing. That's what I would do. Will Mitrovic do it? Oh, no, not a chance at all. He's not going to do that. He's not going to bench Mihailovic. And he's probably not going to bench Duncan Maguire. Maybe he'll bench Duncan Maguire at some point, but Mihailovic, oh, he's not benching that guy. He loves Jordi Mihailovic. He loves Mihailovic so much. He loves Mihailovic as much as Cristiano Ronaldo loves Cristiano Ronaldo. It's completely crazy. So Mihailovic ain't getting benched at all. Maybe Duncan. So we'll take it, I guess. If he can bench Duncan, that's already a win. We improve a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what he does against Guinea. Lesson number 6 is that we learned, or at least I learned, I kind of knew this, but now I got the confirmation. New Zealand really sucks at soccer. They really do. And I guess we can also just throw this lesson into this one. It's like 2 lessons in one. The United States is really good against island nations that are not called Trinidad and Tobago. We're good against Grenada, Jamaica, Martinique. I think Martinique is an island. And we're also really good against this small island in Europe called England. We never lost to them in a World Cup. And also against Wales, the country. But you know who is really good against island nations? Jesus Ferreira, El Pirata. And honestly, if we had Jesus against this New Zealand side, which is a bad team and an island, oh, that dude would have had a hat trick. I guarantee you. Trust me. Believe me. Ask anybody. He would have had a hat trick. Last but not least, lesson number 7. And lesson number 7 is that the United States should not underestimate Guinea. I know they lost to New Zealand and they lost to France. We shouldn't fear them, but do not underestimate them. This could be a trap game. We must be careful. They are absolutely unpredictable. They lost to New Zealand and they played like crap against New Zealand. But they went toe-to-toe with France and they even got unlucky with 2 goals getting disallowed that game. They have streaky players, and we cannot let them get into a rhythm throughout the game. New Zealand did a great job against Guinea, and that's how we should approach the game. Slow down the tempo, hold possession a little bit, play a mid-block, and when they have possession, they attack you, strike them fast and hit them in transition. They have shown to be vulnerable in those occasions. Do not underestimate them. They also don't really seem very tactically disciplined at times. I noticed that against New Zealand, and I saw that a few times against France. But honestly, they are a very talented team with very good players. If we underestimate them, we will lose. I'm honestly serious here. I am dead serious. They lost to New Zealand and lost to France. but do not underestimate this team. They have good players. They just look a bit disjointed at times, but in terms of individual brilliance and talent, they have that. All right, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like before you go. It's free, and if you want to support the channel financially, make sure to join our Patreon. The link is in the description. And once again, I want to thank you all very much for watching, but before you go, don't forget that on Tuesday, we will have the live watch-along for the Olympics and the live watch-along for the U20 World Cup qualifying quarterfinals. Yes, the quarterfinals. That if we win, the U20s will qualify to the U20 World Cup. And for the Olympics, obviously, if we win, we advance to the quarterfinals of the Olympics. And we continue to dream about getting or winning, I guess, a medal in this edition of the Olympics. Now, I want to thank you all very much for watching and have a great day.